Right, guys, we gotta take down a climate clown who's decided to attack another clown for backtracking on his climate con policies. Obviously, this means I'm talking about a pair of septic spots on the brown eye of humanity called Chris Packham and Rishi Sunak, who got the former a bit salty when he delayed banning petrol cars. Or actually, he said he would, but didn't really, which we'll get into later. Now, first, as you know, I consider Rishi Sunak to be lower than Ponce Gum, and to be honest, this Chris Packham Ponce sits right next to him, as does any other climate-pushing tosspot.
How dare you!
But with that being said, I'm gonna have to sort of defend Rishi Sunak here while also not defending him because like I said, the ban being delayed was bullshit. Anyway, this Chris Packham Ponce or Poundland David Attenborough apparently issued an ultimatum to the Prime Minister threatening court action if he didn't reverse his delay on net zero con policies like banning cars and gas boilers, which you can see from GB News here.
I've burped up stuff better than this, sir.
Well, further down it states, in response to the announcement, Chris Packham has sent the Prime Minister a legal letter which signals the start of a judicial review process. According to the environmental lawyers at law firm Lee Day, if Rishi Sunak does not make a U-turn on the delays, Chris Packham will apply to the High Court to challenge the plans. In the letter, the host of Springwatch claims the PM does not have the legal right to change net zero goals, adding that the 2050 deadline cannot be changed. Well, first off, I'm not sure who this Chris Packham tit thinks he is, but I've got a newsflash for him. The Prime Minister, as much as I don't like him, runs the Parliament that makes the laws, so he can pretty much change what he likes if he whips the party to actually vote for it. Then, of course, there is the fact that no previous government can hamstring the next government with laws they can't change. This includes international law, which, let's be honest, is meaningless anyway. But even if it wasn't, as the Ramonas said in 2019, Parliament is sovereign and so not controlled by any outside force. The High Court ruling in 2019 has already confirmed this. Well, with international law, it can just say we ain't doing it, as many others have, and there is really sweet fuck all they can do about it, well, unless they plan to invade us, of course.
Is this a declaration of war?
Russia is actually a perfect example of this that we've got right now. Member of the United Nations and apparently breaking international law literally every day for the last 18 months, and it seems doing so with zero fucks given. So yeah, international law is
bollocks.
Now, another thing about what this prat is claiming that I should call out is this little bit here. The wildlife expert who recently appeared in a documentary about whether it's ethically acceptable for people to break the law when protesting the government, claimed Rishi Sunak had abandoned policies without public consultation, without informing the Climate Change Committee and without informing Parliament, so he claims illegally. But hold on a minute, isn't this Ponce moaning about the government breaking the law despite him doing a show recently about climate tits, you guessed it, breaking the bloody law? I heard it was something to do with blowing up pipelines or something like that, wasn't it? So terrorism that causes massive oil spills, kills wildlife and all of that is okay, but delaying car bans is not. Someone make that make sense for me. But back to what he said, sod the Climate Change Committee because I don't remember anyone electing them, do you? And shit, I don't remember the public consultation on us going for net zero, do you guys? So saying there should be a public consultation on it being delayed is bloody insulting.
You're trying to mug me off.
But if he supports asking the public if they want net zero, then I'm all for that, because I bet you right now, when most find out we make less than 1% of global emissions and what net zero really means, they'll want no part of it. That is why they never had a public consultation on doing it in the first place, because they knew the answer would be
Fuck no.
Now, if the legal system actually works, then this tits court case is doomed to fail regardless, because like I said, the petrol and diesel car ban is still in place, but just under a different name. This is actually a common tactic used by political scumbags, and the ICE car delay is another one of them, because it's a delay in name only, a bit like Brexit actually. This we know because here you can see the ban on petrol cars will be almost complete by 2030 anyway. This will be done using the EV mandate that requires car makers to produce fewer petrol cars each year, with 80% being EVs by 2030.
Sneaky, sneaky.
So by 2030, at most 20% of new cars made will be petrol or diesel, meaning that they're almost gone and will be shortly after that. Actually, that's a bit like our electricity grid will be, because it won't handle all them cars being charged, and I'll place money on that right now. But some or all of that information there, I'm sure the government's legal team will use in court, which is a win for us because it proves these con artists are up to their old tricks, lying to the public about the net zero con job. Of course, the courts could side with this Packham prat using some serious mental gymnastics to do it, so get ready for that possibility also. I don't know about you lot, but I've got to say, I literally trust fucking none of them.
Pandemic.
Where